Thank you for choosing the good old couch as your entertainment provider. Please sit back and relax. We will be with you shortly.
Engines roar, black tracks burn ahead. Victory smell living in my head. Tires screaming, gripping the way. Fueling the fire, it's my game to play. Helmet down with the finish in sight. Adrenaline rush filling the night. Dust and sparks shaping the day. On the circuit I'm here to stay. Speeding hearts, we own the track. Pedals to metal, no looking back. Racing dreams, burning fast. Crossing the line, I'm built to last. Crowd cheers loud like a thunderous wave. Under the lights, the champion they crave. Flags in the air, they know the tale. Glory's in reach, I'll never fail. First. Pit stop, hustle, gear so tight. Seconds count in this fight. Sweat drips steady, the tensions grow. Ready, steady, let that power flow. Speeding hearts, we own the track. Pedals to metal, no looking back. Racing dreams, burning fast. Crossing the line, I'm built to last. Yeah. Pit stop, hustle, gear so tight. Seconds count in this fight. Sweat drips steady, the tensions grow. Ready, steady, let that power flow. Yeah. Crowd cheers. Yeah. Yeah. Pit stop, hustle, gear so tight. Seconds count in this fight. Flags in the air, they know the tale. Glory's in reach, I'll never fail. Engines roar, black tracks burn ahead. Victory smell living in my head. Tires screaming, gripping the way. Fueling the fire, it's my game to play. Helmet down with the finish in sight. Adrenaline rush filling the night. Dust and sparks shaping the day. On the circuit I'm here to stay. Speeding hearts, we own the track. Pedals to metal, no looking back. Racing dreams, burning fast. Crossing the line, I'm built to last. Crowd cheers loud like a thunderous wave. Under the lights, the champion they crave. Flags in the air, they know the tale. Glory's in reach, I'll never fail. First. Pit stop, hustle, gear so tight. Seconds count in this fight. Sweat drips steady, the tensions grow. Ready, steady, let that power flow. Speeding hearts, we own the track.
Hello and welcome everyone to race 1 of our good old couch ADS F1 24 league. That is a mouthful. So tonight, again, as usual, it's going to be myself, Anomaly, and my excellent co-host, Persephone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Persephone. Everyone, we are so excited to have you with us. Our races are actually going to be starting out on Imola, which, as Persephone and I were choosing the tracks, I was like, oh, this one looks so easy. It looks so chilled. It's a nice track to behold. Let's pick this one. And Persephone was like, yeah, I feel you. We're going to pick this one for the first race. And then afterwards, when I tried driving it, it's not as easy as it looks.
Well, I didn't drive it, so I'm still going to go with it's easy, just because I don't change my mind easily, right? Because, you know, when I saw it, it looked easy, I'm going to stick with it's easy. I didn't drive it, though, so I'm not going to change my mind on that fact. I'm just going to go with it's easy.
No, I love that. I love that about you. You always stick to your guns, and yes. I 100% agree the track looks easy. So please, everyone in chat, throw some hate our side if you disagree. If you do agree with us, also let us know, because then we can tell the racers, everyone agrees with us. It was easy.
Listen, maybe it's too easy. Maybe it's too easy of a track for our first race. But we did want to ease them into this league. We didn't want to make it too difficult.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. So no, I agree. It might be a little bit too easy, but like Persephone said, we did want to just give our races like a sort of a chilled start, just to get along with everyone, just to like get along with themselves and their cars, but
with your new friends, because we have a lot of drivers that didn't drive in the previous league.
Exactly.
Everybody needs to get to know each other. Everybody needs to learn how to drive together. So just ease them into it.
Exactly.
Just say hi to all your new friends.
Exactly, and you know what's actually funny is we're seeing a lot of teams switched up this season. We mentioned some of them during our test race last week, if some of you were there to catch that. But for example, off of the top of my head, I do know that we actually have Ace 555 and Faster Cluck driving together in the same team for McLaren. And if you guys remember, they kind of like they were battling last season. So yeah, we have them in separate teams. We have Danky Monkey driving for Kick and not in the Williams with Spectre Wolf. So the Williams team is also switched up. We have a completely new team, the Aston Martins. They are a completely new team driving together. So yeah, and we also actually do have another new, well, he's not a new player to the game, but a new good old couch league contestant or member, driving alongside Mr. Alf actually in the Ferrari. So yeah, we're actually switching it up quite a bit.
Yeah, no, it sounds like we're keeping everybody on their toes. I mean, I feel that I'm on my toes now, because I didn't even realize you're talking about Mr. Frey, but then I remembered Mr. Frey drives the Ferrari. So yeah, no, it's going to be a very interesting league. I'm very excited. I think they're going to show us what they've got. I think we're going to develop some new favorites. We're going to cheer for our old favorites. So it's going to be very interesting.
I 100% agree. Some or those of you coming from the previous league, like Persephone said, drop us your favorites. If you do have any favorites, let us know in the chat who your favorite is from the previous league, or if you have someone in mind that's new to the league, let us know. I also see, Persephone, that Ulezi actually let us know there in chat that he's late. We were just wondering where you are, Ulezi. So
I asked Anomaly, where's Ulezi, right? I just wanted to say, I know Frey is now in the Ferrari, and
yeah.
in the Ferrari, but just before we started the stream, I'm like, Where's Ulezi?
Yeah, and
Where
we
is
got
Ulezi?
so used to Ulezi just like running up those leaderboards last season that we immediately missed you. But he does say, don't fret, chill down, commentators. He's going to be in the race.
You're going to be in the race? That's wonderful. What car are you going to drive?
Let us know, Lazy, for which team are you driving this season? It is a little bit weird not seeing you in the Ferrari, I must say. It's also weird seeing Alp in the Ferrari, as Alp is quite a Visa Cash App fan, or the previous Alpha Tauri fan. So yeah.
Saber. Saber.
Oh, okay. I hope we're sober this evening.
I hope everybody is sober. But I see it's Saber. I am sorry, people. Clearly, I'm not the biggest car person. I mean, I can say some of the cars. I saw the other day they were saying like words you mispronounce, right? And one of them is, a lot of people say Porsche, but it's actually Porsche.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about this sober
I know.
sober now.
I know I mispronounce. It's such a feat for me to say Mercedes because I come with the typical Afrikaans Mercedes. So when we do this, I'm like, no, it's Mercedes.
Mercedes. And then a lot of people mispronounce Chevrolet.
Yes.
Chevrolet.
Yes, I've heard about that one as well.
Yeah, okay, but well, at least we can make it in the car family,
And then
right?
and then there's also like a lot of people who mispronounce Ford as a good car, but no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just joking. Don't come at me. I was already almost fired last season because of Bahrain.
That is really funny. That's really funny. Anyway, now I'm going to go and buy a Ford just to drive past your house up and down and see what you tell me.
100%. I support that notion. I'll support you like with the tow truck as well.
Oh, thank you. You'll call the tow truck for me. So, getting back to the race, right? We have our first times on the board. We have Spectre with 116.396.
I wanted to say something after the gasp and then I almost choked, so please just run with it.
We have Marksman with a 117.296. Then we have Hannibal in the third time at this moment with a 117.834. Faster Club with a 117.972. The Regon, sorry, I almost I almost mispronounced that as well, as we say Chevrolet and Chevrolet. 120.003. Peach with a 121.677. Nicky Knox with a 122.530, Unfair Straw with a 127.579, and then we're just waiting for the rest of the group to put on times. I have to say again, there's so many people. If I'm just looking at this list, we're going to be auctioneers again, where we're just going to have to run through everybody's names just to be able to say it in one breath.
Definitely. I agree 100%. We have a lot of races on the grid this season, and they're all starting off very strong, just like Persephone just said. You can see those times. We have Spectre over 116, and I do believe that some of our more professional drivers are definitely going to rival there around the 116s. But you know what's interesting for me, Persephs, is that this track, although we do joke that it's an easy track, the characteristics of the track is a little bit different than what you'd expect, because it looks like it's a lot of like nice straights. It looks like the corners are not that sharp, but actually the straights that are on this track is extremely high speed, so they are going to have to apply their braking expertly this evening to ensure that they just not run off the track, because the runoff areas on the track are also very little, and then our track actually has a lot of elevation changes. So what I want to do is I want to have a look I do believe we are on God of War here. He actually is a little bit past the starting line now, but let's have a look at the track from this angle. So you can see that although the corners are not extremely sharp, or you can see some of the elevation changes straight after that corner, and it's a very high speed straight, so you need to see the braking points and the brake markers should be applied expertly. So as God of War is also going around the chicane here, the chicane is also a very dangerous part, because when I drove it, and please note, I do not have any driving skill. But when I drove it, I had to literally brake dead just to get around the chicane without running off on the runoff line. So we will actually be seeing, I think, a lot of our racers maybe underestimate the braking specifically on this track this evening.
So, and if they underestimate the braking, does that mean they'll be cutting corners and getting penalties?
Yes, I do believe that there are quite a few corners that's able to cut. I don't think I'm on the correct racer at the moment. Mr. Frey has only demonstrated the purest of the rule following of just amazing driving, so he doesn't cut corners, but if you have a look at this chicane corner, it will be very easy to cut that corner there if you don't brake correctly. So yeah, apart from the chicane corners, I don't think that there's a lot that they will be able to cut, but I do believe some run-off penalties exceeding the track limits and such will definitely be given to some of our racers this evening. I literally just tapped the R2 button as I was demonstrating with my hand here for no one to see.
For no one to see. Yeah, but see, in my mind's eye, I can see you. I can see you sitting there explaining to me, moving your hands and just tapping that button.
And I really do talk with my hands, hey? I really do. Persephs, I see we have a lot more time on the board at the moment. Do you maybe want to have a quick run at it?
Let me take a deep breath. So we have Spectre with a 1:16.097.
Luckily it's an outlap.
That's not doing that, but still they tires, right? Because now, are they going to change? They can't. Well, they can change their tires now.
Yeah, but it is going to have an effect if he wants to keep that fastest lap and first pole position at this moment. Luckily, it is an outlap, but like you mentioned, just having to run that dirt off his tires before being able to put up a new lap time, especially with God of War and Mr. Frey so close on top of Spectre, it is going to be a little bit of a hard feat.
Yeah. Okay, let's start again or try again. Either way, I'm going again.
You've got this.
I've got this. Okay, so we have Spectre with a 1:16.097. Then we have God of War with a 1:16.292. We have Frey with a 1:17.130. Marksman with a 1:17.296. Hannibal with a 1:17.834. Danky Monkey with a 1:17.919. Foster Clark with a 1:17.972. Mr. Alf with a 1:18.073. Ace 555 with a 1:18.277. Nicky Knox with a 19.009.
Oh my goodness.
Foxy Cute with a 1:19.028. Zaria Gone with a 1:20.003. The Dog Man with a 1:20.409. Peach with a 1:20.420. Wasabi Baby with a 1:21.469. Les/Fanman with a 1:23.605. Unfair Straw with a 1:27.579. Anarchy we're waiting for, and V Power we are waiting for.
This is fantastic. I literally only saw it when you mentioned it. Oh, now she just went into pit. But Persephs, did you see that time that Nicky Knox put up? So Nicky Knox is definitely our rookie for this league. This is the first time she's picking up the game, although she is getting a lot of help from the community, and I must say the couch community is literally just there for each other to share setups and to share tips. So although she is getting a lot of help, that is an amazing time for her to be putting up so on the first race even of this league.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. We're seeing some good times. I'm very excited to see what all the girls will be doing. Of course, we're very excited to see all the guys as well.
But we're especially excited for the girls because we've only had so many guy races in the league previously. Like it's fantastic to just see some more female representation as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we're very excited to see all the new drivers. I'm very excited to see what everybody is doing. I'm also very excited for all the new drivers we have. Like you said, Nikki Max, if it's the first time she's picking up this game, the first time she's going to drive, that's amazing. But it's the same with like V Power and
and the Recon even, yeah.
Yeah, and so we have a lot of new drivers. There's new people in the league that we haven't really seen drive before. I mean, we had that one day that we did all the tracks and stuff, and we had a few people there. That was fun. And we had the test and race and everything. But this is really where we're going to see what this pressure does to the drivers, how they're going to handle it. If they're disqualified, how they're going to handle it when somebody is really chasing them. All these
and just that pressure, like you mentioned, that's going to be applied on them.
Yeah, so there's so many things that's gonna show in this race. So I'm very excited. I also want to see if Liz/Von, who has to change his name and still hasn't done it, if he's going to drive into any walls. I mean, I feel it's not a race if Von doesn't drive into a wall. I'm very excited to see that as well.
I must agree. I
need to know all these answers to all my questions.
This is the most important part of the evening. The racing is only a added bonus, I must say. We know you guys are all here to just hear me and Persephone. So what I also wanted to mention is we are still in the market. If anyone does want to sponsor the wall that Liz/Farnman is driving into, let me know. I will arrange it for you.
Well, technically we can't, but the thought is there. The thought is there, right? So
definitely, and
we'll take a picture of it and Photoshop it.
I 100% agree, and I just feel like because McLaren did so well the weekend, I'm just giving a little bit of airtime here to the two McLaren drivers. So for all of you guys watching, Anomaly, like myself, I'm an extremely big McLaren fan. So I always tend to vote for the McLaren. So I'm going to call a prediction in that McLaren, either Ace or Fasterklak, is going to be at least in the top 5. So if you do want to challenge me, pop it in the chat. Let me know who's your top 5. Persephone, who's your top 5?
Oh my goodness, it's my top 5. I mean, we haven't even started race 1 yet. I don't know the drivers, I don't know their techniques. I am a person who likes to gather evidence first. I like a little bit of context. I don't read a sentence and just go off that sentence. I like to hear both sides of a story, so...
And there's definitely nothing wrong with that. I 100% agree. It's actually sometimes better to just gather your evidence before you have an opinion. But if there's anyone who says McLaren is not going to be top 5, you are completely entitled to your own wrong opinion. Fight me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, guys.
You know what, May? I like the fact that there's this weird little icon, this green little K thing.
Yeah, for Kick.
Right? Yeah, so I believe Kick is going to be in the top 5.
That's a fantastic prediction, Danky Monkey. Some love coming your way from the commentator side. We also have some love for Mr. Frey in the Ferrari. Definitely a good candidate for the top 5. I'm quickly just going to run through our leaderboard at the current moment. If you guys have a look at the left top hand side, you guys are welcome to see the times there. So I'm not going to...
I'm not
going to give everyone everyone's time, but at the moment we do have Spectre Wolf leading the grid with a 1:15.678, followed closely there by God of War in second position, Marksman there in third position, Mr. Frey following suit in fourth, Hannibal in fifth position, Ace 555 in sixth position, very close to that top five, I might add, for the McLaren. Danky Monkey there will kick in seventh position. Persephone, we might not be that wrong. Faster Clock for the McLaren in eighth position, Alf ZA for the Ferrari in ninth position, V-Power for the Visa Cash App. I almost said AlphaTauri, but for the Visa Cash App in 10th position, Dogman in 11th, Nanarki in 12th, Nicky Knox in 13th, Foxy Cute there in 14th position, Liz / Fonam, I'm just going through the pit lane now, but in any case, Liz / Fonam there in 15th, Zerigon in 16th position, Peach taking up 17th there, Wasabi Baby unfortunately not able to put up the qualifying time that she wishes she could, however we are extremely happy to see her on the board. She almost didn't make it. Welcome Wasabi there in 18th position, and Unfair Straw taking up that 19th position. And then we have luckily Ulezi, who will also be joining in race, however he is going to be joining hard mode in 20th as he was not able to join the qualifier. My goodness.
In and out the brakes.
We got through everyone with 5 seconds to spare. That is skill.
That is pure skill. Pure skill.
I 100% agree.
And now you're going to try and do it again, because now they're going to show the board, there's going to be all the names, and then you're going to try and do it again, but this time you won't be able to do it.
Yeah, this time I won't be able, so unless Danky Monkey, Faster Clucky, Mr. Frey, and God of War somehow pulls a horse out of a hat, oh my goodness.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
Oh no!
Just a second, everyone. Just a second. But yeah, let's have a look at Max Verstappen while we're sorting out the technical difficulties. I really do apologize.
Is he the one in front?
He's definitely the one in front. Okay. So I'm going to remove my mic myself from the mic for 2 seconds. Persephone, run with it.
Okay. So the Mike Verstappen person here in the front is wearing a Red Bull thingy. So I'm assuming he drives for Red Bull, right? Now I don't know who Mike Verstappen is, so I might not be the best person to speak about this. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Guys, we do apologize for this technical difficulties. I do apologize that you are seeing this. I'm hoping that we get back into the race, that we get back into the spectator arena, and I can actually watch the race. I'm driving to a wall just for you, for your information.
I feel like this is definitely my karma for saying earlier that you guys are here to listen to us and not watch the race.
It might be, but tell me we can get back into the race.
I did just run upstairs there to Ace in extreme panic. That's why I'm sounding like a polar bear in like New York. But
I was wondering what you're gonna say, yeah.
Definitely New York, definitely. But he said he is going to add us. So we are just waiting for him to be able to add us, and then we will be able to showcase you guys everything that you were not able to see.
Just delete that weird word, folly wax something, cheap viewers on streambo.com on the...
Yeah. You can also ban him, you know?
No, I'm not your admin.
Okay, I'm either admin myself. Let me ban this guy. Okay, guys, so it looks like we will be able to rejoin. I'm struggling with banning the guy, Perseus. Okay, never mind. I got it. I've got it.
You just leave it by
Fantastic.
moderator. Thank you. So
Oh.
I Fawnman said, I'll drive into a wall just for your entertainment. Fawnman, I don't think that's a good idea because then you would have driven into a wall. So I don't think you're really thinking about the consequences.
Yeah, I must agree with Persephone there, Fawnman. Think about your own standing in this league. I'm trying definitely to see if I can get prizes up in this league. We do have some surprises in store for the end of the league, so I don't think you want to throw away any points that you can get at this point in time.
So Unfair Straw has been disqualified, but this is just the outlap, right?
Yeah, formation lap. This is
not
just
the-
a for.
Yeah, sorry, I meant formation lap.
They are
You know
just
what I mean.
formulating, yeah. Luckily we do
Just
know.
formulating. Okay, so she still will be able to drive. Let's see if we get any do not finishers.
We actually see down there in 20th position, Persephone Ulezi did manage to join and he's in for the kick sober.
Listen, the kick sober. Now I really believe the kick sober is going to place.
Ulezi, you're getting love from the commentator's side. Show us what kick sober can do. I feel like I need a kick.
Remember how to? No, I don't. Yeah, no, I need a kick because now I can't even remember how to pronounce it.
Sauber.
Are you sure?
I am not.
No, isn't it?
Drop us there in chat, maybe like a phonetic.
No, I'm confused.
But luckily they will be off very shortly. I'm going to just take this view and see if we can just get a little bit of a helicopter view, and we do have it, and they're off. Mr. Frey already taking that pass there on Spectre Wolf, securing.
There was a bump at the back.
Yeah, and we do see a little bit of a spin out there in the middle as well. So we do have off front pack, Mr. Frey giving that first position back to Spectre. He's quite literally boxed in there between the Williams teams. A lot of spin off going there at the back. You can see Haas, unfortunately, the dogman for Haas spinning out there. But this does afford Ace 555 the position to climb up to 6th position. We already have Ulezi up to 14th position, Persephone. The spin outs that the other drivers unfortunately experienced only counting in his favor at this point in time. And then we also have Nanarki overtaking there on Zerigon for that 11th position. So we actually had not a bad takeoff. It was a lot less than I would have expected.
I think some people are driving without wings. They didn't drink their Red Bull.
While we are talking about Red Bull, I do see some very aggressive maneuvering there from the Red Bull, overtaking on Ace and Mr. Alf ZA. I don't know where the Mr. comes from. I don't know if it's always been there.
Frey, Mr.
Yeah, because I
Right?
thought it was Mr. Frey.
Oh, it's always been Mr. Elf.
Has it always been Mr. Alf?
Has it always been Mr. Elf?
I don't even know.
But why can we add Mr. Elf and Liz/Fordman can't fix his name? That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And if you actually have a look here around this corner, expert driving coming from Hannibal this season, we were getting so used to a little bit of compliant demeanor coming from Hannibal that the fact that he's just going at it this season really says a lot. He definitely wants that position, and I see that he is struggling to keep God of War in the Red Bull behind him here. God of War overtaking on the straight on the outside line and just keeping that position, taking the 4th position, running with it. Well done on that overtake there. So you can definitely see our top pack is going to definitely push for these podium positions. Ace 555 on the inside line on Hannibal. They're just not able to land it 100%. But Hannibal not only having to drive aggressively now, but also having to defend like he's never defended before. Because you can see Ace 555 is extremely close with Mr. Alf. Yeah, with Alf ZA. Very close on top of Ace there. So we're going to see quite the feat for that 5th position at this point in time.
Yeah, see, I knew somebody lost their wing. Ulezi had to pit because in the beginning of the race, when they just pulled away, there was a collision and Ulezi lost his wing.
And it is so hard to drive this track specifically if you do not have your car in tip-top shape. So I 100% support Ulezi for the pit at this point in time, because we are still very early on in the race, so it's going to be easier for him to make up a little bit of that time and just to fight his way back if he does not have to do damage control quite literally on his car the whole time.
Exactly. If he doesn't, I'm sorry, I took a sip of coffee.
Unfortunate there.
Who's that?
This is Peach. Unfortunate. I just wanted to have a look at her because it looked like she literally just was able to overtake, and as she was going to overtake, unfortunately that little spin out there, and then I see we're not able to quite catch what happened to Danky Monkey, but I do see that he does have a did not finish, so I assume unfortunately irreparable damage on that car of his.
Yeah, no, my kicks aren't kicking it today. It's okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not kicking it, but Ulezi, we still have some hope on you. You can get those positions. We actually see a lot of damage here on Faster Cluck's car as well. Like you mentioned with the collisions, he unfortunately also landed in the middle of some of them, and having a hard time currently just keeping his car straight, keeping his car aligned, and overtaking on Nanarki in the Haas and V-Power in the Visa Cash app at this moment. So I'm not sure if Faster Cluck might also consider pitting a little bit earlier than he probably would have liked.
Yeah, and it's quite unfortunate to pit this early in the race though. I mean, I understand why, because the damage to the cars and all those type of things, but that's not ideally what you want, right?
No, it really is not, Persephs. Having to pit on lap 4 is going to cost you so much time, because as you can see, almost all our races started off on the medium tires, so these tires are supposed to be lasting them at least until lap 10 if they want to push it. So if they're starting out on the medium tires, I do believe that we might be seeing most of our races pit on lap 10 for the hard tires to carry them through to the end of the race. Perhaps some of our racers who picked up a little bit of damage can amend their pitting strategy to try to ride the mediums out now until lap 7, 8, and then maybe consider either doing a two-stop race, or they're going to ride their damage and their mediums out until about, I think, lap 12 or 13, where they might be pitting for softs to see if they can then gain some positions back.
Yeah, goodness. I have to tell you, I would have had to pit as well. I mean, I don't think I would be able to drive with the damaged car, you know. I wouldn't have been able to control my car in that way, especially with you mentioning the elevation and the...
Yeah, and you can actually see it.
All those type of things, yeah.
You can actually see it if you have a look here at Ace. You actually saw him just hit the elevation with a little bit of a bump that he might not have been bargaining on, that just lessened his speed a tiny little bit. And if you hit these very fast straights with the elevation change, if you hit it wrong, it's going to cost you your car, because losing control of your car on these elevation changes is so easy. And as you guys can see, the runoff is very small, so those who will lose control of their car might actually be costing themselves the race. I do not think that they will be able to then repair.
Yeah, I mean, if you lose control, then you could go off and you go into a wall or whatever could happen.
Exactly. If you have a look here, Ace just pushing for that overtake on Marksman, just not completely able to overtake him yet, but you actually did see the very fast straight, and I do believe that we are going to see quite the fight here at the top positions. However, I just quickly want to have a look here. We just saw Peach with a fantastic overtake, already having worked her way back up to 14th position there, and then Zerigon also Nico with a very good overtake, some very consistent driving coming from our bottom pack. That's just they're keeping it clean, and they're keeping their lines extremely tight. And you can see that the times between our races, especially in mid and bottom pack, is not that far off. Like, it's not as close as our front pack races at this current point in time. But it's not.
Something happened to our front pack races. Look at where Spectre Wolf is.
Spectre Wolf might have, no, he actually did not pit, but yeah, like you said, it might have been possible that he lost a little bit of control there on his car, and it's, yeah, a little bit. It's cost him a little bit of positions.
A little bit lot. I mean, he was number 1, he is number 8, a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit lot.
It's okay, Spectre buddy. I try to soften the blow there, but you can actually also see Marksman here, Marksman and Alf. So Alf having taken that 5th position there from the 2 Williams. So Alf in the Ferrari back up to 5 positions, Ace in 6th position, and Marksman is going to attempt the overtake here on Hannibal. However, not completely managing it. Is he going to, on the outside line, he actually does manage it, and he keeps it quite clean, putting Hannibal solidly behind him there. That was a fantastic overtake that we managed to see there, Persephone.
Yeah, no, it was a brilliant overtake. So at this moment we have Frey in the 1st position, Marksman in the 2nd position, Hannibal in the 3rd position, Mr. Alf in the 4th position, Ace in the 5th position, Monarchy in number 6, Spectre Wolf at number 7, Faster Clucky in number 8, Faster Clucky number 8.
Faster Clucky number 8.
Yeah, it's because V-Power and the Dogman switched, right?
Okay.
The Dogman at number 10. God of War at 11. Foxy Cute at number 12. Wasabi at number 13. Peach at number 14. Zarigon at number 15. Lazy at number 16. Mickey Knox at 17. Liv/Farmer number 18. And Unfaithful at number 19.
That is fantastic positions. Unfortunately there, I just wanted to point out that Ace is really chasing for this 4th position, but he did run off the track there, unfortunately for him. So is he going to give it to Nanarki? I don't think he will. Nanarki is going to have to push to get past Ace here, because Ace did lose a lot of time there on Alf ZA. He was quite close to him there.
So see that smoke?
Yeah, so there's definitely a bit of damage there. You can see it's problematic at this point in time. Ace on the medium tires, he's going to have to focus to keep Nanarki behind him as well. And then you also sit with the problem, we can call it a problem of Spectre Wolf that's gaining some time there on Nanarki. Unfortunately for Ace there with that runoff, you can definitely see the tires a little bit worn there, but Nanarki taking that opportunity, and we actually did see maybe a little bit of contact there between Spectre Wolf and Nanarki as well, just as Spectre Wolf overtook Nanarki on the outside line, grabbing that 5th position there for himself. So yeah, we are actually seeing some very interesting strategies. I also want to have a look here at Ulezi just climbing this grid board. He pitted for the soft tires earlier, so a very bold move from his point of view. He's definitely going to have to apply his skill that he has and his knowledge to ensure that he manages to get as most as possible or as much as possible out of that soft tires. But you can see it's working in his favor. He's climbing up there to position 13 with only a 9 seconds to make up there to Faster Cluck in front of him. And then I also want to have a look here at God of War's pit strategy. It's a very interesting strategy, because he did pit on lap 9 for hard tires, and I was thinking they might actually be pushing it to lap 10 or lap 11 at least. So you can definitely see maybe some of our races, God of War being one, maybe Ace also pitting now for the hard tires, and also Hannibal pitted for the hard tires on lap 10. Some of our races might just be a little bit more comfortable with the hard tires on this track.
I also see there's quite a battle between V-Power and the Dogman and God of War going on.
They,
So, they keep switching.
oh,
There they go again. Oh, who's that?
and that is V-Power. Unfortunately,
no.
we actually managed to catch that incident between Dogman and V-Power. Maybe both of them not just 100% able to take their cornering perfectly. They are two of our newbie drivers. So it is quite possible to just assume that perhaps they do not yet have the necessary knowledge or skill to know exactly where to corner the car and where to apply the brake marker. So unfortunately for both of them there, but they are still able to race. They have not been DNF'd, so they can still make a comeback here.
Okay, brilliant. I see Marksman is in first position, Frey in second. I do want to say Spectre Wolf was there for a second.
Yeah, Spectre Wolf having gone into pits alongside with Alf and Banarki, so we're just going to have to see where they exit.
Okay, brilliant. I missed that for a second. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
so no, brilliant driving. Sorry, I got distracted for a second.
No problem. It's a bird. But I see they did exit the pits now, so we do not have any drivers in pits if you want to run through our grid for us.
Well, technically we have V-Power, but it's because he went into a wall. I mean, I would pit as well because my car would be broken.
Exactly, and he waited just for us to say no one's in pit, so he can be like, haha, I'm in pit.
I'm in pit. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, let's do this. We have Marksman in first position, Frey in second, God of War in third, the Dogman in fourth, Hannibal in fifth, Spectre Wolf in sixth, Mr. Elf in seventh, Nanarki in eighth, Ace 555 in ninth, Faster Clock in 10, Lazy in 11, he's really climbing, Zaregon in 12, Foxy Cute in 13, Peach in 14, V-Power in 15, Liz/Fun1 in 16, Wasabi Baby in 17, Unfair Straw in 18, and Nikki Knox in 19.
I do. Thank you so much, Persephone. I do want to mention, actually, just before you ran through the grids, I was thinking that we're actually seeing Marksman employing the strategy that I thought most of our races will be taking. He was pushing it up until lap 12 on the mediums or lap 11 on the mediums, pitting on lap 12 for the hard tires, and having quite an excellent come out of the pit, exit out of the pit. You can actually see he exited in fourth position, so he entered in first, however exiting in fourth position with a fantastic exit there. Unfortunately, we see Mr. Alf spin out there at the back, with Ace going to Nanarki and Ace going to take that position up. You can see that orange McLaren coming there from behind. So yeah, unfortunately there for Alf, but yeah, we actually have some of our races that even after the pit that is on quite a big amount of laps on their car. So for example, we have Zaregon there with 7 laps on his medium tires, and 7 laps on his hard tires, and Liz/Fawnman with 8 laps on his medium tires, which is going to start costing them now. So it's either going to be a 2-stop pit for them, or they're going to have to start pitting soon to get some softs or some mediums up in there, to see if it can carry them up until lap 22. But our standings actually differed quite a bit. We have Mr. Frey leading our pack, like you mentioned, and the fastest lap going there to Spectre Wolf with 1:17. Some very aggressive driving coming from Spectre Wolf this evening. He's just like he wants this podium position. And like I said on our test race, I do not think that we can rule out a Williams Manufacturer Cup again this season. Marksman, Spectre Wolf both doing excellent jobs of keeping the Williams up there in the top positions.
I don't know. I think Kick is going to give you a run for your money.
Going to give them a kick.
It's going to give them a kick.
Definitely. I actually also want to just do a little bit of a shout out here to Hannibal. I know I mentioned it earlier, but we've gotten used to Hannibal with quite a chilled out driving style. However, he has completely switched it up this season with the test race as well as our first race, just positioning himself up here on the top of the grid, with some aggressive and skillful driving coming from his side as well. So it's very interesting for me to see him climb the positions back up there. He is, however, followed very closely there by Nanarki with a 0.3, and Nanarki being very closely followed there by Ace with a 1.3. So yeah, we have quite the fight here for 5th, 6th and 7th position at this point in time.
Yeah, no, definitely. I also see that V-Power after the accident and all those type of things are climbing quite nicely.
He really
Batman
is.
also doing well because he was also part of that collision. Or not collision, but you know,
The little incident, yeah.
The little incident. So yeah, no, everybody doing really well. I see. It seems like Ace is trying to overtake Hannibal.
Hannibal just overtook on Marksman and Nanarki, and then Ace also overtook on Marksman and Nanarki. So affording Hannibal the 4th position there, and Ace there in the 5th position. Both of them on hard tires. Both of them on 4 laps on their hard tires. So we might definitely be seeing some competition coming there from them. I'm actually wondering, Persephone, if Marksman didn't perhaps have a little bit of a spin out there, because he had a quite steady time going, and as they are all on hard tires, it shouldn't have been necessarily this easy to get past him. So I'm actually wondering if maybe there was a little bit of a loss of control there. But he's definitely going to take that position back. He is a 0.4 behind Nanarki. He's going to definitely fight for it. We know that he's going to take that position back on the straight, and he is definitely aiming for it. He does succeed, back in the 7th position, or 6th position, my apologies, very closely there to Nanarki, and faster clock also for the McLaren, getting quite close to them there. I do just want to have a look here at our middle pack, because as you guys can see, we do have quite the fight here between Alf ZA in 9th position and the Dogman in 10th position. So Alf, we're not usually used to seeing Alf around middle pack. Alf is usually one of our front packers. However, like you said, it was quite the pull away. So he's definitely seeing a little bit of competition here in the middle pack to see if he can gain some positions back.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we are used, like you said, we're used to Alf being a little bit more on top, but I mean, he's still driving excellently. But the same with Faster Clucky. I mean, Faster Clucky also takes a lot of podiums, and he's also part of the middle pack, but it just shows you the competition this year.
It really does.
It's the same year, but I mean, this league.
This league, yeah. Well, it's a different year game, so, well, we can say this year.
Yeah, I don't want to be, incorrect. It's just like this league, yeah.
Definitely a little bit of a wide turn there, but still a very good exit for Alf. However, he is going to pit. This is probably the lap that he will be pitting for soft tires. Very weird, because he only has 4 laps on his hard tires. So he only has 4 tires as well. But it might definitely be a little bit of damage that's keeping him from rushing up there to the top. I do want to point out there in our front pack, Ace 555 has a 0.4 on Hannibal there. So we might actually be seeing a little bit of a battle there going on as well. However, we also want to have a look at our middle to bottom pack here. Foxy Cute at the moment racking up the 10th position, definitely keeping her head in the game, and it is quite the feat, as we've seen in the previous season, to even try to keep Ulezi behind you. So Ulezi is going to compete for or contend for this 10th position, and he is definitely going to take it. Unfortunately, spin out there for Foxy Cute as well in the background. Possibly it was a little bit hard to deal with, like you said, maybe the pressure of keeping some of the older drivers behind you in the manner that she has been doing.
Yeah. No, we'll definitely see if they can handle the pressure. I mean, it's quite different driving and then having somebody like Lazy or Danky Monkey or
Exactly.
or whomever behind you. I mean, suddenly seeing that car behind you and knowing the quality of driver they are and all those type of things, and knowing that if they just have that smallest gap, it's done.
Exactly. And as we are a league of multiple skill levels, it's quite the challenge. Although I think it's a little bit of a fun challenge to accept, but it is quite the challenge to not only when you are starting out as a newbie driver to teach yourself the game and the tricks and what needs to happen, but it is also very hard competing against some of these more professional drivers. As you can see, Wasabi Baby just overtaking also there on the straights, having worked herself up to 13th position. But it is definitely, I think, a feat to remember. If you do have a look at some of our newer drivers from our previous seasons and how they are driving at the current stage in time, it's definitely fantastic to behold the skills that you do learn and that you do manage to get when you are driving with these more competitive and more professional drivers.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I know we joke about it a lot, but I think for me, for example, who has never played this game, I think if I would have played this game with these caliber people, well, with anybody, with like babies driving this game, I would be scared. You know,
I
if I was
100%
driving
agree.
alone, I would be scared. So,
I 100% agree.
Yeah, so I can only imagine the type of pressure, the type of intense, I can only see myself driving, like sitting on the edge of my couch, just clenching.
Yeah, with like clamping the controller, like sweat drops on my forehead.
Yes,
But I
exactly.
feel you. I want to quickly point out here, Perseus, if we have a look here, we are on lap 19 out of 22, so we are nearing the end of the race, and we have Mr. Frey with a most comfortable lead here in first position, and you can see him just cruising, enjoying this fresh air. He's just going for it. Yeah, he's chilling. He has a 12-second lead. As long as he keeps his wits about him, and it's Mr. Frey, we've come to know that he does. He's definitely going to be able to keep within that 12 seconds for the remainder of the 3 laps. Spectre Wolf following in second position. He does have a 2.4 lead on God of War. You can actually see God of War there in the background in the third position, just trying to see if he can still manage to pull up to that second position at this point in time. And it's also nice to have God of War this high up because he is one of our new league competitors and league members. So it's good, like we said previously, to see our league compete with each other, but also just to lend each other that helping hand. So it's fantastic to see him this high up. And then very close, well, actually not very close, but definitely making up some time. He was a little bit closer at the different angle.
I'm not smiling because of the time difference. I'm smiling because you were like, I'm gonna be brutally honest. It's not that way, right?
Well, the other angle that I had on the camera actually looked a little bit better. So I apologize, Ace. I got your bad side here. But no, Ace in that 4th position is definitely pushing to see if he can make up some time. Oh, unfortunately there for that spin out, and he did push so hard to stay in that 4th position. I wonder if it's maybe that we shouldn't put the camera on Ace, because when we do, he tends to spin out. So I'm hoping that he can recover a bit from that. And then Hannibal just taking this opportunity, going for it, taking that 4th position. He has a little bit of time that he needs to make up on God of War, but he is starting to lead the middle pack up there to the more end of the race. He's followed very closely there by Nanarki. See, in this camera angle you can see it's very close. But yeah, Nanarki only with a 0.6 he needs to make up. Marksman the same, 0.5, very close to Nanarki, and also Marksman having had a little bit of a difficult race and having lost a couple of positions when he was so high up. You can definitely see him trying to fight back on the second last lap.
Yeah. No, doing very well. Seeing that he had those setbacks and all those type of things. So still doing very well. With Sabi doing very well. seeing that she started basically at the
Yeah.
bottom as well. Ulezi doing very well because he couldn't even qualify. So,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
didn't
he went
even.
from he couldn't put up a qualifying time. So he's doing very well. I think for our first race, this is really going very well. It's a shame that Danky Monkey was had a do not finish. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really bad. But I mean, for our first race, with so many drivers, I mean, I know we still have like one lap to go and all those type of things, and I don't want to jinx anything.
We
But
are actually on the last lap, Stephanie. I'm very sorry to be so rude, but we
no,
do
do your
have,
thing.
but we do have Mr. Frey who is leading us there into the last lap. I'm going to jump back to him in a little bit, maybe around straight now or corner number 3. We'll have a look, sector 3. We'll have a look back at Mr. Frey. But yeah, like Persephone mentioned, we have a lot of our racers who actually managed to climb quite a couple of positions and who just managed to pull everything together and just give us one heck of a show. I think for our first race, this definitely has been an amazing feat to behold.
Yeah, unfortunately, Peach said that she has internet issues and she can't rejoin.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Peach, but thank you for letting us know in chat. Thank you for still being here to support the remainder of the drivers. And yeah, but I must say you did race one heck of a race.
Yeah, no, very well done.
And then we do have Hannibal. I see him there with a 0.13. He's definitely going to see if he can try to overtake just before the finish line. But we do have Mr. Frey taking that first position over the checkered flag line, followed suit by Spectre Wolf and God of War. Both of them with penalties though, so we might be seeing if this might affect their grid placement. However, God of War going over the checkered flag in third position. Marksman going to follow in the 4th position. Excellent comeback there from Marksman as well. And definitely some hard racing from his side. He had a lot of setbacks, but he's pulled it back and he's over in 4th, followed by Hannibal in 5th, Nanarki in 6th. Faster Cluck is going to follow suit in 7th position. Ace 555, unfortunate drop down there for him, but he is going to finish the race in 8th position. Thank you for that little wiggle there, Ace. We do appreciate and love you a lot. Dogman going to finish there in 9th position. Ulezi in 10th position. Mr. Alf ZA in 11th. Wasabi Baby in 12th. Foxy Cute in 13th. Zarigon in 14th or 13th, moving up. V-Power in 14th. Peach in 15th. Liz/Farnman taking 16th. Nikki Knox taking 17th, Unfair Straw taking 18th position, and then unfortunately there for Danky Monkey with a did not finish. Whoop whoop! Thank you also for dropping that there for us in chat, Peach. And then our driver of the day, well deserved, going there to Ulezi. As Persephone said, not even finishing or not even qualifying, didn't even start with a time. He just took and worked himself up and just displayed some excellent driving. So just to reiterate, it is Mr. Frey there in the 1st position, followed by Spectre Wolf in 2nd and God of War in 3rd position. Well done, guys, well done. Everyone, you know our tradition by now. Persephone, are you still there? I don't know if you disconnected.
No, I'm here.
Oh, fantastic.
I was just listening. Are we running? Are we quickly doing it? So in 1st position we have Sofa with a 118, Spectre Wolf with a 117, God of War with a 118, Maximum with a 118, Hannibal with a 119, Nanarki with a 118, but I'm sure that's because of a penalty. In 7th position, Faster Cluck with a 119, The Dark Man with a 119, 9th position, Lazy with a 118, Mr. Alf in 10th position, Wasabi in 11th position, Foxy Cute in 12th position. I went too fast in 13th position.
Goodness.
14th position, V-Power. Go down.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Down.
I'm trying. It doesn't want to go down.
Toggle sticky.
It doesn't want to go down everyone.
Do it.
But
Do it!
but you know what I did notice, Perseps, is
Mm.
I did notice that Ace, who crossed the finish line in eighth position, or should have crossed the finishing line in eighth position, is not there.
But it
Um,
might have been because of penalties and stuff.
it might definitely be, but everyone, you guys know our tradition by now. We are going to be back very shortly with the post race interview. So please do not go anywhere. Just wait a couple of seconds. We're going to be with you, world peace, and all of that. We will see you shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to our post race interview. And boy, has this been a race, Persephone. I can hardly breathe.
I can also not breathe, but it's because there's so many races and we have to be auctioneers.
Oh, that's great. It's great to know that I'm not breathing for the right reasons.
Yeah, true.
Everyone, so yeah, you guys know our tradition by now. We're going to pull in our position 3, then 2, then 1, then our driver of the day, and then we do have a little surprise afterwards. So yeah, without further ado, please help us welcome one of our newest racers, one of our newbies to the couch, definitely not a newbie to the game. Welcome, God of War.
Hi, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Welcome and congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congrats.
Thank you so much.
You had quite the race. We saw some very determined driving coming from you. Firstly, how was your first good old couch ADS League race?
That was very, very challenging. After a slight mishap in qualifying, grabbed a penalty there, so I knew I had to push for all that was I was worth to get to the top running again. By that time, I used basically all my tires, and I just had to manage it from there. But yeah, all in all, it was good.
So was that the reason behind your lap 9 pit?
Yes. I had to. I was starting to lose all tire grip, and I had to put a new fresh set on and carry on with pushing towards the front.
And then God of War. This might not necessarily be a league-specific question, but we are all dying to know. You are the only one of our racers that's racing on keyboard and not with a controller or a sim setup. So, how are you experiencing keyboard versus the controller setup?
Well, it's definitely challenging and it is limiting. But once you get used to it, some tracks it definitely has some performance benefits towards others. But yeah, I'm still getting to grips with how far I can push the car before it starts becoming a very expensive lawnmower. But yeah, but we keep on pushing.
That is fantastic. So, God of War, I usually ask the questions. This is going to be all the questions from my side, but Persephone usually asks a trivia. So, I'm going to give it over to Persephs.
Cool.
Okay, so we're playing Fun with Flags F1 edition tonight.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. So I'm just going to choose a flag, and you have to tell me if you know what that flag means in F1.
Okay.
Okay, brilliant. So the blue flag.
Blue flag means if you see it, someone is lapping you, you have to move out of the racing line.
You are correct. So
Well done.
the technical term, make way for the faster cars.
Well done. And again, congratulations, God of War. Thank you for joining us for the post-race interview as well. And we definitely look forward to seeing what you will be doing next week on Abu Dhabi.
Cool. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Persephone. Everyone, that was our third place for the day. God of War, please help me welcome our second place for the day, Spectre Wolf. Welcome, Spectre.
Hello.
Hi, and congratulations.
Hi, thanks so much. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes.
We can definitely
perfect,
hear you,
awesome.
Spectre.
Awesome. Sorry, I just switched over to PC, so I don't know if I was connected at
It's
all.
no problem. Spectre, welcome back to our post-race interview. As always, it's such a pleasure to have you. And
Such a
well
pleasure
done
to
on
be
your
here again.
race.
Thank you so much. It was a bit of a touch and go there for a second. But yeah,
Yeah, you actually had quite the fight. You were keeping the lead for a little bit, and then what happened there? Because you dropped down quite a bit that you had to work your way back up.
yeah, I was not happy. It was during when the virtual safety car came, and then I had to slow down, which I did. And then it said safety car coming to an end. And I was just over apparently the speed limit of it. I went a bit faster because I thought that meant safety car is ending, you can go, obviously, right? And then right before the pits, they gave me a drive-through penalty. So I was
So
like,
you couldn't
let's
go.
serve it. Yeah, I couldn't. So then I decided to serve it immediately. So I did my drive-through penalty right after that happened, and then I was fighting tooth and nail to get back to the front back. So yeah, it was very stressful, but I practiced Imola quite a bit, so I'm glad it paid off.
I must say, we didn't really notice. I can imagine it was quite stressful. However, we didn't really notice the stress. It actually just looked like you quite glided back up there to the top.
Yeah.
So, what would your advice be to our new league drivers for this season?
Practice virtual safety cars and what you do when it says coming to an end, and only to wait once they say it is safe to accelerate now.
That is
Yeah.
fantastically specific advice.
So far, that's the only piece of advice I can give them, because
And
that
I
learned a
love
valuable
it.
lesson.
And I love it. So, Spectre, I'm going to hand over to Persephone for our quiz.
All good, all good. Thanks so much.
Brilliant. So, I Spectre, we're playing Fun with Flags F1 edition.
Cool. Lay it on me.
Yeah. So, what does the black and white flag mean?
That means a penalty. Oh no, actually, I know it's a penalty when it appears like beside your name. It means that you have a penalty, but
For
it
what?
means-
Is the flag checkered?
Not the checkered flag. No,
Oh,
I
is it
would
a
say
stripe? Is it
It's a-
divided?
it's a black and white flag.
Okay. Well, usually that means somebody is driving not the way they're supposed to, and like disobeying the rules and just being naughty on the track.
Yeah.
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 That's basically.
Sort of. Okay, so it's for unsportsmanlike behavior.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
that
But
one.
you
Yes.
see, Spectre, that's why you don't know.
That's why I don't know.
You're not unsportsmanlike.
I tried not to be.
Spectre, thank you so much for joining us again for our post race interview. It's fantastic to have you here in second position on the first race of the season. Yeah, and just good luck for next week.
Awesome. Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure
Thank you.
being back again. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Spectre. Everyone, it's going to be the first time that we are going to have our first position in the post race
Not
interview.
true. We've had him before.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
let's just say I'm gonna stick with it's going to be one
The
of
first
the
time
first
for
times.
this. One of the
For
first
this
time for
league.
this league, though. Yeah.
Fantastic. Everyone help me welcome our first place winner, Mr. Frey Frey.
Hello, hello.
Hi,
Welcome,
Frey.
Mr.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was a different race.
We were actually just like in a heated argument about whether this is the first time that you are on our
It's
our
not
interview.
the first time. It's not the first time.
So-
The previous time he said to us, "It's so weird being interviewed and not being the interviewee." That was his words to us. Yeah,
So,
I
Mr.
remember.
Frey Frey, how does it feel to actually take the first place on the first race of the league?
It felt alright. Qualifying was interesting, didn't feel brilliant. The setup was a bit weird, but yeah, the race was good. I was
Okay.
curious what happened with Spectral because he was in front, had a good gap, and then just dropped like nothing. I don't know.
You know how you can find out, Mr. Frey Frey? Go
back and watch
look
the
on the good old
stream.
couch
Mhm.
Twitch and go check out the stream.
It's not
Then you
on
will
the
definitely
stream,
find
though.
out.
Nice
It's not.
advertising. Nice
It's not
advertising.
on this. It's not on the stream.
It is gonna
Normally,
be on the stream.
it's on the stream.
Well, the
Yeah.
post-race interview,
Expect
Spectre
there to be
Spectre told us what happened, so
Oh, okay.
it's definitely going to be on the post-race interview part. But Mr. Frey Frey, I actually am very interested in hearing what happened in qualifier because I was very surprised not to see like a 1.12 there.
Well, for the first lap, I was trying to get the tires in a good window, trying to push it. Came across a bit of traffic, so I just backed off. And then tried on the mediums. The mediums felt actually better than the softs for quali, so I went with the mediums. But when I done my medium lap, I saw I was dropping to like 4th, 5th, and I thought, I got to be up near the front, so I had to put on an old set of softs that I didn't want to use a new set for the race. And it turns out I never ended up using a new set of softs anyway, so I screwed myself over.
That's fantastic. That's like a total anomaly move. I approve.
Exactly.
Mr.
McLaren
Frey,
trademark.
I have one last question from my side. You're new to the Good Old Couch community. However, you're not new to this game in specific, and it's very, very plain to see. What would your advice be to all the new league members joining the game for the first time?
I was saying this to Elf during the race because he was getting himself a bit worked up. I was like, don't try to compare yourself to what people right at the top are doing. Do to the 100% of your ability and then just learn after that. There's no point going over your limit and then crashing out and looking like a twit. So
that sounds
just push
fantastic.
to your limit. Don't worry about the others and build up as you go.
I'm going to make a sticker that I'm going to give you for your library that's going to say, don't push your limit and look like a twit.
Yep.
Mr. Frey.
You can add that
That's
next
all
to my
from-
English is good comment.
Yeah, English is great. Mr. Frey, that's all from my side. I'm going to hand it over to Persephone just for our quiz portion of the interview.
Get ready.
Brilliant. Yeah, Mr. Frey, we're playing Fun with Flats F1 edition.
Okay.
So what would it mean if you see the black flag?
You've been disqualified.
You are correct. Well done.
Well done.
Do you want to know why I know that one?
Yes, please tell me.
It happened in another league about a year ago. I had the lead. I was about 6-7 seconds out in front. Safety car came out. I looked down at my phone, not thinking about where the car's going. Overtook the safety car. Black flag. Bye-bye. Disqualified.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it also sounds like a t-shirt. Bye-bye, disqualified.
Bye-bye,
Mr. Frey, you're just
disqualified.
like the slogan master this evening. But thank you so much for joining us on the post-race interview. It was lovely to have you. We look forward to seeing you in Abu Dhabi
Awesome.
next week.
Thank you for having me and keep going with the great streams.
Thank you
so much, Mr. Frey. Everyone, we have a little bit of a surprise. We do want to pull in some of our racers who did not necessarily gain positions, but who we did see manage to accomplish some amazing racing this evening. So I'm very proud actually to ask you to help me welcome the Hannibal. So welcome, Hannibal.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And congratulations.
Yo, that was a sketchy race. I'm not gonna lie. That one was difficult.
Hannibal, we actually mentioned in the race, and this is also the reason I just want to check in with you a little bit. We've gotten used to such compliant racing from you and such chilled racing. And with our test race and our first race of the season, you came out of nowhere with some determined driving and some very, very skilled overtakes, some very skilled driving, and you just positioned yourself in our front pack, and we want to hear what are you doing differently this league?
Praying. To put it short, just a lot of practice, especially getting to know the tracks. And something I've really been working on for quite some time now is getting to know what tires suit my driving style the best and the setup that suits my driving style the best. Instead of me trying to adjust to the car, I'm trying to make the car adjust to what I do.
That is some fantastic advice. How did it feel just like managing all those overtakes on the first race of this league?
I'm not going to lie. As I said, this race was very sketch. I practiced a bit earlier today, but I'm actually a second off of my pace, so I'm a bit irritated at the place I got. But it was just a case of being patient and waiting for the person in front of you to make a mistake. A lot of people like to dive for the corners and all of that. I prefer a more subtle approach where I sit on them, behind them, and I wait for them to spin out. I won't mention any names. I was told I will get excessive fines for doing so I won't mention any names. Excuse the coughing there. But
you can only mention anomaly. All of your racing needs to be compared to anomaly.
Okay, well, yeah, no, so I prefer a more cautious approach instead of just diving for the corner. I am trying to be patient. It buggered me up a bit there in the second last lap when Marksman catched up. Well done to him. That was a hell of an overtake. But yeah, I got points. First race is done. My teammate got points. It's going to be a good season.
It's definitely going to be a good season, Hannibal, and it was a fantastic race to behold. I do believe Persephone has a little bit of a quiz question for you.
Red Bull.
Okay, so you are correct. Well done.
Fantastic.
Well done, fantastic. So we're playing Fun with Flags, F1 edition.
Oh,
so I only have easy flags left. What does it mean if you see the red flag?
I don't know, Ferrari.
No.
Red flag. I don't know. What
It
do you mean?
means
What? Like actually on the track, red flag.
Yeah, on
yes.
actual
red
F1.
flag. Yes.
I wouldn't know because I've never received one. It means you buggered up.
It means you have to stop. It's a signal to stop.
Yes, and I will never receive them because I drive nicely on the track.
Fantastic, and we really did love seeing you drive this evening, Hannibal. So we really do appreciate you just joining us also for the post-race interview as well. Keep it up. We look forward to seeing you in Abu Dhabi next week, and well done.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hannibal, and thank you so much, Persephone, as well. So everyone, next week we might also pull in someone a little bit from the rest of the race as well. However, this has been our first race for the Good Old Couch ADS F1 24 League. Boy, that's a mouthful. I enjoyed hosting it a lot. I do hope you enjoyed hosting it alongside me, Persephone.
I did.
This is fantastic. This is going to be myself signing off. I'm Anomaly and my fantastic co-host, Persephone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Enjoy your evening, everyone. World peace and all of that. We love you. Cheerios.